call our third place match, everybody. 5 minutes.
It's time for 1 versus 2 here in the Valley as the sun sets over Phoenix. Try Bourne, Crabb versus Theo, Brunner, and Schalk. Who will be taking home third place? That's what we're going to figure out here in the 2022 AVP Championships, coming to you live from Footprint Center. We're so glad to have you with us. It has been hours of volleyball on a Saturday, and we still have 3 more matches to go. Hi, everyone. I'm Cameron Irwin alongside Dane Blanton, and 1 versus 2. We have seen upset after upset after upset. I mean, this is no difference. The parity across the board in 2022 has been on full display.
Well, you're absolutely right, but I expected Trevor, Crabb, and Bourne to step up here in this Phoenix Championship because they have been so strong over the last 5 or 6 weeks, winning 3 of the last 4 tournaments. And, you know, I just expected them to kind of separate themselves, and now we're kind of back to square one. The top 2 seeds not in the final here in Phoenix, and I think it's going to take almost like another year to kind of settle in. The loss of, you know, Phil Dahlhauser and Jake Gibb. Now a new guard's coming.
A new guard is coming, both on the men's and the women's. Let's send it to Mark Sherman down on the sand for our player intros.
So, Phoenix, here is the deal. It's our 3rd place match. We have got some high flyers out here. We have got some guys who want to go out on a high note. So when I say their name, you are gonna go nuts. We good for that? We ready for that? Deal? All right, cool. Let's do this. How about this first guy originally out of Red Deer, Alberta, Canada? Yeah, that's you, my man. Now down in LA. Let me hear it for Schalk. And his partner, the big guy out of Ridgefield, Connecticut. He is Theo Brunner. Yeah, I'm coming to you, Theo. I got you. And their opponents, let's see, who do we start with? How about the guy out of Honolulu, Hawaii, wearing the Monster Hydro shorts and the Monster Hydro hat? His first name starts with T. We're gonna go with Bourne. And his partners say all the same things, but his name, ladies and gentlemen, oh yes. A guy you love to love, you love to hate, but we love to see him. He is Trevor Crabb.
These 2 teams have faced off a total of 7 times in the last 2 years alone. 2 of the teams that we actually had in terms of returning duos in 2022. 4-3 Bourne and Crabb with the advantage in those 7 matchups, but the last few have been matchups in the final. Trevor Crabb starts us with a sky ball. And I think that's considered out of bounds if it hits the Jumbotron, right?
Yeah, center court is just a little bit off center from that Jumbotron. So there's a very small sliver if you want to do a sky ball. It has to be on that side of the court.
All right, well, you vote at home. I don't know if that's a sky ball, Cam. That was an underhand, like, fist. That was a unique way to go about it. Maybe that's the Canadian way, eh?
Everyone's got a different technique.
All right, well, let's see what Bourne's technique is. What in the world? Dane Blanton, I think you need to go show him out then.
No, I'm not going down there. I think what's throwing them off is that board. They almost have to try it as if the board's not there and hope for the best.
And hope for the best. Well, Theo.
Oh, there it is.
That looks like it's the winner. Yep. Got it. High off the hands. Oh, and that was Theo doing the falling star.
He was so happy about that serve that I don't think he got into position in time.
All right, so 2 apiece now.
So we got that out of the way. The round the horn sky balls.
Ooh, running to 1. Theo Brunner.
Yeah, it's real interesting conversation that we were talking about, Cameron, about the guard. You know, there's always been that consistent team at the top. You know, for the last few years on the women's side, it was all about April Ross and Alex Kleinman. With them gone, it's really opened up the field. it's anyone's ball game. Remember, we didn't have our first two-time winner until Taryn Quoth and Kristen Nuss won just about 2 weeks ago in Chicago. And on the men's side, it's the same thing. As I was mentioning at the top of the show, I thought that Tri and Trevor would really separate themselves. And 4 out of 5, that would have said, hey, they dominated the year, and they have had a fantastic year, don't get me wrong. But once again, here, all the upsets that we've seen, it's anybody's ball game.
Yeah, I mean, they do have 3 titles on the season, so they will finish the season at that mark, or potentially there's one more in December they may be a part of where they find another one, but definitely have set themselves apart in that regard. But there's still so many that you think of when you think of 2024, right? Who will be the guys? Who will be the women? And that's the biggest question, right? 3 years / 2 years out at about this point. And there's a lot of question marks. Are the duos going to stay the same? Which are those that are going to elevate themselves to be those top 2 on the men's and the women's? There's a lot of question marks heading into January, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, because it's interesting, going into the 2016 games, it was Phil and it was Jake Gibb, right? Those were the 2, on different teams doing their thing. The same thing going into 2020. So both those players have scaled back. Obviously, Jake Gibb has fully retired. Phil has retired from international competition. So it's that next generation, that next wave, I guess you'd say, of players. The door's open. Yeah,
without doubt. And even on the women's side, right, you had the youngins and Sarah Sponsel and Kelly Clays make it Kelly Chang, actually, who made it in Tokyo 2020. Alex and April, there's still some question marks in regards to whether they will return or not for 2024. So there's still some potential in terms of who will be there on the women as well.
Nice block by Trevor Crabb right there. Such a physical team, Trevor and Tri, and a consistent duo.
Yeah, to your point, without a doubt, very physical in their approach. It's a huge pillar in their game. Both spending a ton of time in the gym, making sure they're up to tip top. What is the phrase?
Tip top.
Tip top shape. There we go. Oh, nearly there, falling on his back, losing his hat. Try Bourne. I like the way that these 4 individuals have come out to have a little bit of fun in this 3rd and 4th place finish. Winner will take home some extra cash. Loser will still take home some cash, which is also great.
Yeah, it's not often that you play out each place. Usually if you lose in the semifinal, we have a tie for 3rd. And the teams that lost in the semifinal don't play it off. But in this case, we're playing it off in this Phoenix Championship. And it's provided for some really interesting matches. And it's allowed some of the players to have a good time as well.
Yeah, for sure. You think of Friday, 2 sweeps on the men's side, both done by the higher seed. On Saturday, it's been a different story. 3-3 setters. And the higher seed has gone 0-3 on Saturday. So if we're following suit here, you got the 1 and 2s. Try Trevor, the 1, the 2, Theo and Kane. 7 apiece now on the switch. Flat serve to Theo. Theo, 6'7", originally out of Connecticut. 37 years old. His partner is also 36 years old, out of Red Deer, Alberta, Canada. 6'5". Now a U.S. citizen playing for Team USA. Trevor Crabb and his partner, both out of Honolulu, Hawaii, and Punahou High School. Grew up playing together on the baby court out Outrigger Canoe Club alongside Taylor Crabb. Iron sharpening iron between those 3, that's for sure. Rolling that up, open hand.
Oh, a little funky play right there. Can't believe that ball got over the net. That's why you keep going for it on every single play. 2 attacks, 2 kills. Perfect so far for Trevor Crabb.
Just hit that. You can see that coming straight off his hand. seen so much increased service pressure from just about every team out on the sand. Those that have found that much more have been the big-time winners here in Phoenix. Kame serves and plays in the back. That was a crispy shot, but well done, Kame Schalk. Trevor had already laid out the net, kind of threw him off, actually.
Yeah, I think he wanted to play that into the net, but it never got high enough to get into the net, therefore shooting underneath the net. But he got there in time. Sometimes you get there a little too early.
(10-9) now. Theo Brunner going to have a conversation with Kame at the back line. Figure out exactly what they want to do in terms of their defensive approach here. He goes short to try out of the middle. Quick feet, and wow! Holy cannoli, he took a rip at that ball.
Try Bourne. Just
that was mean.
Getting everything behind that one. A lot of pop on that ball. Wow.
He might have popped the ball. Well-timed block right there. You gotta love that. He was so quick out of the sand, but he delayed that hand and that press to be able to pick up the shot over the top. 11-10 now. Papa Crabb underneath, or I guess there's not really an umbrella. No need for an umbrella in here. But in the box of Tri and Trevor, it's a family affair for the Crabb family.
That's got to be pretty cool having your dad in the coach's box with you.
It's got to be amazing. Awesome. Except for, I don't know, thinking about Big Mike, my dad, in the box. He'd probably just sit there somberly like, good job, and clap. He was always the quiet dad.
Still the support.
Oh, it's amazing. Take a look at the numbers there. I'd say that's rather efficient for those two. Just 1 point in the technical timeout as they switch sides. I wonder if those who are now still sitting in the seats showed up at 9 a.m. and have been sitting in those seats all day long just to reserve them for the finals tonight. Make sure you get all the way up nice and close to the front.
That's a great question.
Mark Sherman, where are you at? We got to do some research here. Chopping that to the line. If Theo Brunner drops his hands right there, that ball's going out of bounds.
Yeah, Trevor Crabb going for high hands, and that's a strategy every once in a while where you have nowhere to go. Just go for the hands and get the touch. And you're right, some blockers will pull their hands at the last minute and that ball will end up flying straight out of bounds. So you got to be careful with going for high hands.
Kame Schalk, the Olympian, now to serve. Trevor finds the seam, and somehow Kame Schalk finds that off his right side. And this is what Phoenix came out to see. Incredible defensive play. And then the big finish from Tri Bourne. He throws his hat on backwards right now.
5 kills for Tri Bourne, hitting .667, but how about that dig? Kame Schalk on the run gets hit with a laser beam and just digs that ball in play. It was miraculous. Oh, what a cut shot. Looked like that ball was out near the antenna, had to kind of come cross court, but it still caught Tri Bourne off guard.
Yeah, cutting in front of a double down defense. You expect the hard driven.
Yeah.
12-13. Saw Theo Brunner go after it from the service line in his earlier matchup. Winning the first set, then dropping the next two. He was on the bad side of one of those 3 setters. .7 and some jumper sand, that's going to help, but a foot fault at the back line.
You don't see foot faults called very often. But they get very close, the players do, when they're running a jump serve. I know Phil Dahlhauser always is so close.
He's like almost, underneath the line.
It's really crazy.
Puts a whole new meaning to towing the line. Quick set. Intriguing.
Too quick right there on the cutback. Hits the top of the net and stays on his side. And that's where that quick offense sometimes, if it's not executed correctly, it backfires.
Yeah, Came and Theo, that's Brunner and Schalk, known to be a little bit quicker in their offensive scheme. Like to push the pace there, especially when playing internationally. That's the next development in the game. There's another one, and it's roofed by Bourne.
Yeah, that was a fast offense right there. Kind of a 3 quick.
31, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen them run that. I don't know if I've ever seen them run it that quick.
I mean, this is the time to kind of try things out, right? In a game setting. Oh, I like that. That had some more loft on it. There's your like 32, right? If you're wondering what those numbers mean, traditionally they come from the indoor game. In terms of placement along the length of the net, that 3 stands for 3 feet away from the setter, and the 2 is the height above the net. So that 32, so 3 feet away, 2 feet up, at least from the indoor side of the game. 31, 3 feet away, 1 foot above the height of the net. That's back to the traditional roots.
I used to call it 34. It's 3 feet from the setter and 4 feet above the net.
But there's so many different schemes right now in the beach game in terms of different sets being called. A lot of times dividing the length of the net up, calling for a set location just with 1 simple number is also one of the ways. What are some of the others?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different systems out there. There's not just one system, and the offense, I believe, has evolved with the certain calls, and the defense. You know, it used to be that blockers only used the 1 and the 2 for line and for angle.
Oh my, Game Schalk closing out that long rally. But yes, the 1 and the 2, but now we've got 3 and 4.
Yeah, now people use the 3 and 4. The 3 is similar to a 1. You're blocking line, but you're showing angle, jumping into the line. A 4 is you're showing that line, jumping into the angle. So, you know, different complexities, different evolution of play calls on offense and defense. And I think the thing that has been most drastic in the game over the last, say, 10 years is the speed of the offense. No one's really setting straight up and down anymore. It's a lot of lateral movement because the block has gotten so good. And if you make the blocker move laterally, there's less chance that they get set up and put up a formidable block.
Well, that's why you're seeing so much that tempo offense. So many of these athletes, especially 2 out there between Brunner and Schalk. 18-16 now. Off the right arm of Came Schalk. And up and over the top. Clean contact. 17-18 on the side switch. Rocking the Laird apparel shorts. These 2 signing a 3-year deal.
Which apparel is that?
Laird.
Laird Hamilton?
That is correct.
Oh. Didn't know he had a line of clothing.
Recently came out.
I like it. And it's just called Laird?
I believe so, yeah. Laird apparel.
Yeah. Laird Hamilton, Gabby Reese, always into something new. Gabby Reese was a phenomenal fours player. Never played too much on the AVP, but I don't know if you remember, Cameron, the 4-on-4 beach circuit was very popular. Nike had a team. She kind of transcended the sport as a model and took the sport to a higher level. It's fun when you see players take the sport to another level. I think Kerry Walsh and Misty May were able to do that by their dominance as well on the court.
Big block from Theo Brunner. Ties it up at 19 all. But yes, without a doubt, Gabby Reese doing a phenomenal job of that. She was one of the first women that was built as a very athletic, strong, powerful woman that was displayed in a model type setting. As a pioneer in that sense. 19 all. Another big block, back to back for Brunner.
Theo Brunner putting up a wall. He's been on fire all day. Even in the loss earlier, he was on fire. Taking care of business at the net. He's got 2 blocks so far here tonight.
Set point, Brunner and Schalk, and it's out of bounds. Is there a touch? No. Look at how quick Brunner's running off the court. It's a nice little toss and catch there with his own net from Trevor Crabb. So 19-21, they lose set number 1. Crabb and Bourne look to respond in set number 2.
I feel really good about what's going on over there. All right, that's you guys on that side.
Passion, the excitement, the story, the journey. We all love the game because of these things and so much more. Across the world with different backgrounds, different techniques, different skills and strengths, different cultures, they all work toward a common goal, an achievement that can never be taken away. No matter how or when you found the sport, the past has shaped the present, and legacies and journeys all lead to Holyoke, the birthplace of volleyball and the International Volleyball Hall of Fame, where the milestones and excitement aren't lost to the passage of time. They're captured and celebrated. Where the moments last forever, icons are immortalized, legacies are engraved on the wall, and legends never fade. Join us to honor the past, to celebrate the present, to look to the future. Who will be next?
Match stats on screen now. Set 1, Bourne. Trevor Crabb dropping it by just 2 points. Brunner Schalk, the number 2 seed, coming up clutch at the end.
Trevor Crabb, Bourne, just hitting 200. Really, at the end of the set, things kind of got a little wobbly for them, and also Theo Brunner caught a little fire. And so that was a close one. Close battle as expected. But can Bourne and Trevor Crabb turn this thing around?
Now you think back to the back-to-back blocks from Theo Brunner near the end of set number 1 in terms of setting the tone. Again, these two teams playing for a 3rd or 4th place finish here in the Phoenix Championships. It's Cameron Irwin alongside Dane Blanton, and another block for Theo Brunner. A 3-peat.
Theo Brunner really putting up a solid block. His timing is nice. He's pressing over the net, and he's not giving the hitter a lot of angles. When you press over the net, it's one thing to go high, but when you press over the net, you start taking away a lot more of the offensive hitter's possible angles. Wow, and that ball goes out as well, so Brunner putting all sorts of pressure.
Popped up off the right hand of Trevor Crabb. Open net. Trying to dial the exact distance in, but a little too much for Theo Brunner. I always think they look like Pac-Man after a rally like that. Everyone going around, scooting their feet around the court in a very geometric pattern to try and clean up all the divots. Wonder if they're getting any cherries out there. 3-1 now. What a dig. The 360 swing. I think Cam Schalk's kicking out his knees right there, making sure his meniscus are still intact after that twist. Nice side out, try Bourne into the angle.
You can tell Bourne a little bit frustrated. They were in a great position to win that first set. And just let it slip away. And so they have their work cut out for them to try to win the second set and push a third. Theo Brunner is all over it. Anything open at the net, he has really capitalized on.
There's the numbers for Crabb, Bourne, Brunner, Schalk, digs, blocks, control blocks. Again, the 1 and 2 seeds facing off. Got the women's final still to go, as well as the men's final. Oh, interesting, trying to get fancy, are we? Try Bourne just tossing that over, trying to look like almost a setter dump there. And I love that Schalk pairs it off with a, well, how about an on-one? Trying to just slap that ball back with Schalk. Nice set and heads up.
That's a real quick arm swing on the right side. I think it's gotten quicker over the years for Cam Schalk. He gets up and just kind of clubs that thing quickly. Such a big defender, and I think that gives this team an advantage when you dig a ball in the backcourt and the defender has a bigger window. By being a taller player, you're in better shape.
I love the hustle from Trevor Crabb. Great job right there in terms of the cover. What's important to keep in mind when you're trying to cover for your partner?
Well, the biggest thing is to stay low and get ready and expect everything. It's always the ones that you don't expect that get by you, or they land right next to you. If you're not down ready, arms ready, it's not going to happen, because sometimes that cover ricochets quickly off the block. So there's no time to get ready. You just gotta be there already when that ball's contacted.
You don't want to expect your attacker to hit the ball into the block, but sometimes you're just going to have to in order to make the play.
And you know more as a setter when that ball's a little close.
Yeah, without a doubt.
There's a close one. No block, though.
Open net and an on-one. off one foot.
That was a heck of a set by Theo Brunner.
And the coffin corner hitting the tee. Brunner and Schalk with another point.
Falling back level of difficulty for the set. And Theo Brunner was off the charts. You don't see him do that often.
Thank you. High hands. 9-5 now.
Nine attacks for Trevor Crabb, 4 kills, 1 hitting error, 3 digs. Trying to get his team back into this one.
And Trevor playing in their 19th AVP. They have 5 wins in those 19 events. Going to the backcourt, they do play with that split blocking system, so you will see both Tri and Trevor at the net as well as in the backcourt. Came and Theo working more with the traditional block and defense setup.
Big serve right there by Theo.
What a set! Unreal! All right, Messi. Send that one back to your partner.
That was one of the most fierce hits I've seen from a set that was 30 feet off the net.
Without a doubt. And just like that, the quick side out point is a point the opposite direction. 11-6. Add that one to the highlight reel, though, from Bourne. That one deserves to be on the open. He checks down and checks it straight to the line. You know, we always talk about the different looks you see from attackers when they take a glance down at the defense, whether it's out of the periphery or out of the check down. Bourne, typically doing it after that first step. Incredible to witness when you have somebody that takes their eye off the ball and yet still able to find that set. That's why that practice and rhythm with your partner becomes so much more important. Seen a lot of people challenge Bourne into that angled defense today. And the finesse.
Yeah, a little too easy right there for Bourne, taking a look and seeing the whole left side of the court wide open. And always got to have both. Can't be all power, although I think Bourne would love to hit every single ball. Got to be smart.
Quick set. That's so fun to watch.
Yeah, really fast execution right there. And what's most important about that is Brunner gets that set out to his right shoulder, and he's able to just snap it down.
So 13-8 now. The ladies already warming up on the court as we speak. Betsy Flint, as well as Kelly Chang, getting ready.
We got some medium balls.
Into the technical timeout. It's time for you to make your Phoenix Championship predictions on Valley Play's AVP Predictor Game and take your shot to win 2 official AVP game balls signed by the 2022 AVP champs. Just scan the QR code or go to valleyplay.com/AVP to make your winning predictions. If you predict correctly, well, you win 2 official AVP beach volleyball signed by the champs. Get ready and get those picks in now. You got to get them in sooner than later because women's final is coming up next. And if you're wondering if those are shooting stars flying across the arena. No, that's just Mark Sherman throwing out AVP mini balls. So right now, Crabb and Bourne trailing by 5 out of the technical timeout, and also trailing by a set. Seen 3 3-setters on the day on the men's side. Could they find a 4th here?
It's very possible, but Brunner and Schalk, after winning that first set, they're in complete control right now, and they really haven't been giving up a lot of easy points. They've been really steady despite losing in that semifinal. And I don't see them giving back too many points here.
I like that right there.
That's hard. That's a hard play.
Why? What part of it is hard?
Because it's an option, and the ball has to completely cross your body as a right-handed hitter coming from the right side. And you see a lot of people err on that because of the level of difficulty.
Not only difficult on the attack, but also the passer as Bourne again finds a seam right there. I'm gonna just give Bourne the ball just because it's fun to watch him hit right now.
Yeah, Bourne he just kind of floats up there. He's got great vertical, such a physical player. So strong. Remember, Bourne had that autoimmune issue back in 2017, missed the entire year. Couldn't figure out what the illness was, but they finally worked it out. I remember he was working a lot with us in the booth and doing broadcast stuff, and wasn't sure if he'd ever return to the sport. And to see what he has done since then is nothing short of miraculous, and one of the most physically strong athletes now, and really takes care of himself.
Yeah, also got a little one in tow as well, little baby Naya. She's not so much a baby anymore, but had a kid in that time alongside Gabby. If you're in need of someone for a good DIY project, find Gabby Bourne. She's not scared to build just about anything. 11-16. Brunner and Schalk continuing the trek. Both of these two also dads. Love to celebrate all the moms out here on the AVP tour. We also have some phenomenal dads on the AVP. Saw the ultimate dad in Casey Patterson retire. 5 kids in tow, all here in Phoenix. Celebrating him as well as wife Rex.
17-11, we switch sides.
Yeah, Casey Patterson, what a career he had. So fun to watch him grow over the years. Played for 18 seasons, won 18 championships, was a 2016 Olympian. I remember his first victory in Coney Island in 2009 with Ty Loomis. I think he took down Sean Scott and John Hayden at the time, and that was something special to win that first event. And just a great ambassador of the sport as well. I think what'll be missed most is his personality.
That's what I was going to say. When you speak of being a great ambassador for the sport, he was not only a showman, but a showman of great joy in this sport, and that's what's been just on a complete highlight reel throughout his career. He's brought so many people into the game and into the fold and into the AVP family more than anything else. Seeing even more of that quick offense, the quick shoot sets. Again, this is the 3rd and 4th place match here in the Phoenix Championships. The 1 versus the 2 seed. And if Brunner and Schalk close this one out, that would be yet again another quote-unquote upset. The lower seed picking up the victory. The 1 and 2 seeds, though.
Maybe something about the court. I mean, it's very interesting. I mean, the probability of both top 1 and 2 seeds on both the men and women's side not making it to the finals after having a bye in in basically a 16 bracket. It just goes to show you the parity that's out there.
Probability is definitely low, to your point. An ace.
But it happened.
Yeah.
It happened. Got it on blame it on
2013,
something.
it is match ball for Brunner and Schalk. And it looks like he's eyeing the Jumbotron. All you at home, here comes yet another sky ball. And it's a doozy right on the back line. Oh, you wanted the down defense. They sent Came Schalk to the net.
Almost nearly got that ball up with one hand, Brunner.
I mean, his platform's like 7 feet long. You should be able to dig just about anything, right? 14-20. Schalk. And it's out of bounds, so they continue. 15-20 now. So the third match ball. Bourne and Trevor Crabb, still so much to celebrate in this 2022 season, picking up 3 titles. More than anyone else on the men's side. The only person to have 2, apart from that, is Phil Dahlhauser. Schalk with the finesse, and it's right between the defense. 21-19, 21-15. Brunner and Schalk, the number 2 seed, taking home the 3rd spot in the Phoenix Championships.
Yeah, Brunner and Schalk, they really won that decisively. They pulled away in that first set, and then they never looked back. Took control midway through the second set, and just were playing well, converting on the defense. Brunner up at the net was a force to be reckoned with all day long, and so they will finish in 3rd place, and it's been quite a season for them. As we take a look at the stats, Brunner and Schalk, they had that hitting efficiency that was the winning formula. Blocks dead even, so as aces, but the broken plays seemed to go to Brunner and Schalk, and that was the difference.
That was the difference as they pick up the 3rd place finish here in Phoenix. The women's final is up next. Kristen Nuss, Terry Cloak, Betsy Flint, Kelly Chang.
For the winner, we've got Betsy Flint and Kelly Chang taking on Terry Cloak and Kristen Nuss. And for the guys, we got Taylor Crabb and Taylor Sander. Looking for